Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Naghahanap ka ba ng Lamia? Okay, ng Lamia employer. Alam ko, no, ang dami po natin mga kapabayan, siguro hindi makahanap ng PR pathway, nag-apply sa isang stream, hindi na i-invite, yung mga ganyan. Ang isa sa options na lang talaga is makahanap ng employer na tatanggapin siya na may Lamia para at the very least maka-stay pa dito sa Canada. Hindi man PR, maka-maintain ng legal working status through, again, an employer with Lamia. Yun nga lang, guys, no? As you will see in this data that I will share with you, talagang hindi na ganun kadali makahanap ng Lamia. Feeling ko kahit willing ka bumili, sa totoo lang it's not right, that is illegal. But I wouldn't be surprised na kahit ikaw ay may pera, naghahanap ka para bumili ng job offer, Lamia, mahirap na rin talaga. Limitado na lang. Bakit? Literal, nabawasan yung bilang ng mga Lamia documents na ini-issue. Dahil kumonte significantly yung mga applications dahil sa mga restrictions na in-announce last year. No? So, umpisa na. Talaga, naramdaman na talaga itong paghihigpit sa Lamia. Basically, ito rin po ang paghihigpit sa Temporary Foreign Workers Program. Okay, so latest data from the IRCC, kahapon lang po ito na-release. Ang sabi, 50% na ang nabawas, okay, sa Lamia applications. So, yung mga employer na nag-a-apply para mabigyan sila ng Lamia. Ano pa tong Lamia na to? Ulitin natin, no? This is the document na kailangan i-secure ng employer bago po sila maka-hire ng foreign worker. Ngayon, bawas na raw by 50% dahil nga ang dami ng restrictions, no, kung sino lang ang pwedeng pag-issuehan ng Lamia. Halimbawa, no, maraming apektado dahil sa mga lugar kung saan mataas ang unemployment rate, automatic, hindi na kukonsidera ang mga Lamia applications for jobs na kinukonsiderang low wage. Okay, pag makita lang talaga at the moment na, saan ka ba nag-a-apply? Galing. O sa Toronto, mataas ang unemployment dyan. Hindi na siguro nila titignan kung ano pa yung hinahanap mong empleyado, what, you're done. Wala, canceled, refused, no? So, ganun po ang nangyayari ngayon. Ang sabi ng IRCC, all these restrictions, that was just one example, has already led to a 50% reduction overall in applications to the program. Pero ito, talagang for low wage applications, 70% ang nabawas. Wow, 'di ba? So, ito po ang sagot sa ilan sa inyo na baka nagtatanong-tanong sa mga kakilala, kung baka merong kakilalang employer na nag-hire pa ng foreign worker. Ito ang sagot. Baka yung mga dating nakakapag-refer, wala na ring maibigay dahil talagang mahirap na ngayon. Okay, that's the reality. Yan. So, buti naman nag-update kahit paano tong IRCC, no, sa mga resulta na kanilang restrictions. Parang nag-uumpisa na, no, guys? Napansin nyo ba itong IRCC? Slowly giving updates about the policy changes that were previously announced. It makes sense because siguro, no, naka 1 year na, about 1 year, nag-uumpisa na sigurong maramdaman talaga ang mga ito. And now they have enough data to present. Okay, maliban daw sa significant reduction in the number of Lamia applications, ina-announce din dito sa press release ng IRCC na talagang mahigpit na raw sila, okay, sa pagpapataw ng mga fines and penalties sa mga employers na hindi nagko-comply sa mga kondisyon ng Temporary Foreign Worker Program. In short, ito yung mga employers na kumuha ng PFW, sinabi ito sweldo, halimbawa, hindi binibigay yung tamang sweldo. Hindi rin binibigay yung sinabing oras na ibibigay doon sa worker. Yung mga hindi sumusunod dun sa kanilang kontrata. Maliban dyan, syempre, meron din mga sitwasyon na talagang yung working environment is not safe for workers. Okay? Ayan, sabi dito, ito, employers who do not respect these, ito po yung mga program requirements, could be issued administrative monetary penalties or AMPs of up to 1 million per year and be temporarily or permanently banned from the program. I only hope na kapag talagang may order na meron kang penalty, singilin ninyo agad. Isa po yan sa mga nirereklamo or observation before. Kasi meron pong isang public website, no? Yung IRCC or yung ESDC tungkol sa mga malokong employers, no? Na napatawan na ng penalty. May update doon na napakarami sa kanila na bangamat ang tagal ng inorderan na may penalty o may fine, hindi nila kinokolekta. Hindi rin sila sinisingil. Di parang ganun lang din, syempre, di ba? Anyway, okay, so may penalties daw of up to $1 million per year. Later on, I will share with you, alam niyo ba, merong nasampulan, very good, merong nasampulan na isang employer. Pinatawan po siya ng, let me double check, if it's per year, I'm not sure, no? Pinatawan siya ng fine na $1 million. Okay, $1 million and a 10-year ban sa pag-hire ng TFWs. Okay. This is an employer in New Brunswick. Itong last month lang po yung naging desisyon sa kanya. Later on, I will tell you more about this employer. Tapos may pag-uusapan pa tayong isa pang employer. Sikat ito. Sikat. Marami mga kababayan nating nagtatrabaho dito. Marami mga kababayan natin. Actually, ang nirecruit ng kumpanyang ito from the Philippines, pinatawan din yung isang branch. Okay? Ng malaking fine dahil natuklasan na hindi rin niya sinusunod yung kanyang kontrata. Sige. Puntahan muna natin. Tapusin ko na nga muna tong IRCC press release. So, ayun na nga, no? Fines of up to 1 million per year. Okay. And temporarily, permanently banned from the program. Maaari din daw yung gawin. For the year 2024 to 2025, nagkaroon daw ng 1,435 employer compliance inspections. At doon daw po sa mga in-inspect, 10% ang natuklasang non-compliant. So I assume itong mga non-compliant, sila po yung napatawan ng sanctions. During the same period, penalties more than doubled from more than $2 million. Aba, okay, ngayon, mahigit 4.8 million ang total penalties na pinataw sa taon. Okay. And it resulted in 36 employers being banned from the TFW program, at yan daw ay threefold increase from the year before. Okay. O sige, okay, that's good. At least naghihigpit ng husto. From April 2024 to March 2025, ito daw yung mga halimbawa ng mga non-compliance violation. Merong employer sa agriculture sector fined more than $200,000, tas na-ban ng 2 years. Okay, for failing to provide proper working conditions. Tapos hindi nagbigay ng mga required documentation sa inspectors. Meron daw employer sa isang residential building, construction industry, napatawan din ng fine na mahigit $161,000. Okay, tapos banned din for 5 years. Merong employer sa long-haul trucking industry na finay ng $150,000 for failing to genuinely operate a business. Aba, talaga nga naman. So, nag-hire ng Lamia workers. Wala pa lang talagang existing na negosyo. Talaga nga naman itong mga trucking industry. No, guys, sana ako sa totoo lang mag-zero in pa dyan sa mga malolokong trucking employers. Hindi po lahat, hindi po lahat. Because that is really a worrisome. To have an employer hindi sumusunod sa mga safety standards, yung mga ganyan, siguro hire na lang. Siguro kumukuha naman kung sino-sino lang para magmaneho ng truck. That is dangerous for the commuting public. 'Di ba? Nakita niyo 'di ba yung mga nangyayari sa US, yung mga reckless truck drivers na hindi man pala talaga mga qualified to drive. Buti sana kung buhay lang nila yung kanilang, pinuput at risk. People driving, on their way home. Ito, mga nagdidelikado dahil sa presence ng mga ganitong workers. Okay. Again, hindi po lahat, hindi po lahat. So ngayon puntahan po natin yung sinasabi ng isang sikat na employer na napatawan ng mahigit $100,000 in fine. Ito po yan, isang franchise ng Canadian Tire. $111,000 for violating the TFW program rules. Okay, again, isang branch lang po ito, franchise pa. Siyempre nakakasira sa imahe to ng pangkalahatan ng Canadian Tire. Ang branch daw po ay nasa Etobicoke sa Greater Toronto area. Okay. The ministry that oversees the TFW program, yan po yung Employment and Development Canada, did not provide specific details doon sa violation ng employer na si Mr. Natarajan. Okay, yung kanyang violations. Siya yung may-ari ng branch. But it found infractions under two categories. Ito na yung pay or working conditions did not match what was stated dun sa offer employment para sa mga empleyado. And that workers were assigned to roles na hindi naman kasama sa kanilang trabaho. Ngayon, okay, so this press release was just from yesterday. Okay, pero alam niyo ba, nagkaroon na po ng report from almost 1 year ago talking about this same Canadian Tire franchise. Okay, na meron nga po mga empleyadong nagrereklamo. Ipapakita ko po sa inyo yung report na yan from 11 months ago. And mga kababayan nating na naabuso ng employer na ito ang fini-feature dito sa storya ng CBC News. Let me share this with you. Ito, no? So I assume, dahil po sa mga complaints ng kababayan natin, ito na yung, kumbaga, nag-contribute po yan sa investigation ng ESDC, sa employer na ito, na nagresulta sa kanyang penalties. O sige, ipi-play ko po ito,
Ruel Pailan spends his days applying for jobs, dreaming of gaining permanent residency and bringing his family to Canada.
I'm just always thinking for my family, not for myself actually.
Pailan's former employer was Azil Natarajan. His store on the west side of Toronto was approved to hire 34 foreign workers on closed permits, but many left before their work permits expired. Pailan showed CBC his schedule and pay stubs. His contract said he'd get $20 an hour, at least 35 hours a week, but he wasn't scheduled for the hours he expected. His hourly wage was eventually cut by more than $3, shrinking the money he sent his children in the Philippines for education.
I was crying going to work.
Jean Crescencio also says he was underpaid and he felt the workplace was unhealthy. He says he came to a tipping point last December.
He was shouting at me that if I don't want to work with him and if I act like that, he will terminate me.
Both men say they quit, a decision made more difficult, Crescencio says, because of their closed work permits. These permits tie employees to a single employer. Quitting could mean the end of an employee's Canadian immigration dream.
Work permit it's like a cage.
Azil Natarajan told CBC he vehemently denies all the allegations against him. Canadian Tire Corporation said in an email it's deeply concerned and investigating the details and validity of the allegations.
Okay, so deny daw pala ni employer, ano? But again, this report was from 11 months ago. I wonder kung ano ang sanction sa kanya ng corporation mismo, no? Kasi nga franchise owner siya. Pag ganyan, I'm sure it's possible that makancel yung kanyang franchise contract. Hindi kaya? Lalo na dahil may official pataw na yung gobyerno sa kanya, di ba? Penalty. Okay. So that is for Canadian Tire. I know I mentioned earlier, no, meron din pong isang agri employer sa New Brunswick naman na napatawan din 1,000,000. Eh, malaki, di ba? Sige, puntahan natin yan. Makikita nyo po yan sa isang website ng ESDC. Sa Canada. Official website po ulit ito, no? Ayan. Actually, accessible naman ang information. Ayan. So, ito po ay listahan ng mga employers who have been found non-compliant. Makikita rin po dito magkano yung kanilang fines, or kung naban sila, ilang taon, at ano ang mga dahilan kung bakit sila na-fine. Ngayon, sinearch ko na lang yung $1 million. Ito ang napatawan ng 1,000,000 penalty and a 10-year ban. So, ineligible siya mag-hire ng foreign workers until September 2035. Ito po ang Bolero Shellfish Processing, na ito ang address. Saint Simon or Saint Simon, I'm not sure how to read it, in New Brunswick. Ayun, penalty, $1 million and a 10-year ban. Tignan natin yung reasons. Generic reasons naman to, no? So, ito. So, may tatlong nakasulat dito. Pupuntahan ko yung una. So, the employer broke federal, provincial, or territorial laws for hiring and recruiting employees. Okay, sige, puntahan natin yung isa pa. 8, 9. Pangalawang dahilan, the pay or working conditions didn't match or were not better than what was listed on the offer of employment. Okay. At ang huling dahilan na nakalagay po dito, the employer didn't put in enough effort to make sure the workplace was free of any of the following: physical abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, financial abuse, and reprisal. Oh, I wonder which one of these, no? So, yun. Okay. Oh, at least ito, napatawan na 1,000,000. Tignan nga natin kung paano ang bayaran nito. Sana masingil agad. Diba? Nang matuto at maging leksyon sa iba pang abusadong employer. Okay. So, what do you guys think, no? Ganun talaga. Dahil sa mga ganitong uri ng employer, what can you expect? Of course, rules will be tightened. Tama lang po din yun. Para maiwasan, syempre, yung mga, katulad ng mga kababayan natin, no? Mabawasan naman yung mga na-expose sa ganitong unfair, work practices. Okay, anyway, I will end this episode here. Let me know what you guys think. Yung mga naghahanap ng Lamia dyan, kamusta kayo? Baka meron kayong kwento dyan, nilagay nyo na lang po sa comment section. I'll end this episode here. See you guys in the next one. Bye!